March to March, presented by the Principal Financial Group. And it feels like March Madness when these two teams go at it. It's a battle in the Mountain West Conference. First place, San Diego State, taking on Boise State, which was in first place on Thursday night. Take a look at the standings. They're kind of jumbled now from where they were at the beginning of the week. San Diego State is sitting atop the standings, then Colorado State and Boise State. The regular season title is up for grabs. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Julianne Vianney. It's a pleasure to see these two teams together again. Brian Dutcher, the head coach at San Diego State, Julianne said the other day, he said both teams will be the better version of themselves in tonight's game.
And when these two teams face each other, historically, it's no surprise that it went down to the wire, went into overtime on Thursday, and I expect it will be even more of a bloodbath today, especially with what's at stake in the Mountain West standings right now.
Speaking of the Mountain West, we have a couple of very good Mountain West players, candidates for Player of the Year, and it begins with Derek Alston of Boise State.
Well, Thursday he just took over the ball game, dropping 22 of his 29 points in the second half alone. He jump-started their comeback single-handedly. To me, this is the best player in the Mountain West. He has such a feel for the game, and his ability to create his own shot up the dribble just makes him lethal to stop, and he just makes everyone else better.
And he's getting hotter and hotter as the year goes on, averaging over 26 points in the last 4 games. Meanwhile, for San Diego State, they got a couple of offensive special players. Matt Mitchell, though, is their special guy.
This is clearly his team, and he's taking control as a leader in every way. He was great on Thursday, and he's so tough to stop going downhill. I'm most impressed with his strength and his steady body control. Nothing knocks him off kilter when he's around the rim, and he's been just steady his entire career.
And he had to carry the team because Jordan Shackle, who did hit a big shot in overtime, struggled shooting the basketball.
But he is their sniper and hits those big shots in those moments when his team needs them most, and he'll need to confidently pull the trigger today for them to be successful.
And Matt Mitchell told us that he will be confident to make sure he gets the basketball. The rematch between Boise State and San Diego State is upon us. The tip is coming up next. Fresh off a contract extension, that's Brian Dutcher, the head coach of San Diego State. He's done a wonderful job taking over for his buddy Steve Fisher, who gets a chance to see every game. He's got 91 wins. This is his 4th season as the head coach at San Diego State. He'll start all of his seniors tonight. They had a senior night ceremony yesterday, but he'll start all of them, including Joshua Tomajic, the transfer from Maryland, who gets a chance to make his first start for San Diego State, and it comes on the quote-unquote senior night. Leon Rice, the head coach of Boise State, he's the all-time winner, winningest coach in Boise history. He passed Bobby Dye earlier this season, and he's looking forward for his team to get back on track tonight. He said that they had a great practice yesterday, and he said, listen, nothing really changed the practice yesterday.
It's more about who can execute better today. This game's going to be about who gets that loose ball, who gets the defensive rebound, all of that, because these are two evenly matched teams.
How about we dig deep on the opening tips and the records for both? Armouche has won 14 times when he wins the tip, so maybe that'll be a little foreshadowing. Tommy Nunez at center court, making sure everybody is set to go, and we are underway. The tip is controlled by Boise State. I guess the game's over then.
It's over. That's it. We're done.
Broncos hoping to get off to a faster start than they did the last time. They were 1 for 10 to start the game from beyond the arc. Little ball movement, little jab step. Shot clock is under 10. They go to Armouche at the free throw line. Shot clock is at 5. Spin move into traffic and a traveling violation. Thought maybe they'd get an offensive as he ran into Gogo, Terrell Gomez.
And Gogo was in the right spot. I mean, they had 2 guys in white jerseys just ready for that Armouche spin.
In fact, in game 1, turnovers were a big factor for Boise State. They turned it over 12 times in the first half of that ball game.
It was way too many.
Fadeaway 3 by Gomez, no good. Almost looked like a matchup zone by Boise State to start the game.
Yeah, I think they're going to change it up a little bit to throw off San Diego State a bit. That's what you need to do in games like this where you know each other so well.
Alston misses his first 3 of the day. Shackle, they want to get him going early. An extra extra pass for Pulliam for three, and it's in and out.
The San Diego State really touts themselves on starting out fast, coming out with a lot of energy, and they have been successful with that against Boise.
Yeah, Leon Rice talked to us about that yesterday, and there's the first bucket of the day for the Broncos. Shaver able to get into the paint with a little teardrop.
And a good sign, getting on the board first.
Boise is one win away from eclipsing their program record for victories in the conference. Leon Rice told us, he said, it's just another notch. It's another nice notch to have.
He doesn't pay attention too much about things. Nope, he doesn't care about stats. He doesn't look at news. I like it.
I felt like I had to ask him about it because, you know, he's done such a good job with this program. Dennis for three. It's no good. And Shackle with the board. The team's a little cloudy early offensively. Gomez, quick first step. Tomajic has time on the shot clock. That's a tough pass. Cut off by the Broncos, and a foul on Shackle. The Shaver was able to cut into the passing lane.
And that was excellent anticipation by Shaver. He was all over this, and nice court vision. I mean, you can't telegraph this pass. He's denying Shackle. You got to go the other way, or Shackle's got to go back door, but beautiful job and hustle from Shaver, and he makes the first shot in the game, then he makes the first defensive play.
That'll give the Broncos the basketball. The first foul of the night goes to San Diego State. Mitchell is on Alston. Matt Mitchell talked about defending Alston. He said, I've just got to be more aggressive against him. Shot clock is at 2. Shaver lets it fly, and it's going to be a violation.
Now, there were a lot of threes taken. Boise State took very many threes the other night, and my curiosity is, can they get to the rim? Can they get to the foul line a little bit? Because San Diego State makes teams have to take shots from the outside, and that is not what Boise State wants to get too comfortable doing. They do want to get to the rim.
And a timeout called by the Aztecs. Mitchell couldn't get the ball in. 17:09 to play. Not a whole lot of offense so far. Boise State up by 2.
At Chewy, we know walks are made better with our furry friends, and we're here to make those walks easier every step of the way. From tasty treats on the go to toys that keep them moving. Whether it's rain or shine, get everything they need, even prescriptions to help them stay healthy. At Chewy, we have leashes, toys, and treats for every kind of walk, delivered right to your door. Get fast, free 1 to 2 day shipping. Visit chewy.com today.
Julianne, we didn't want to give away too much early on, but let's look at your keys to the game.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about this already. Avoid the early first half deficit. For Boise State, they've done that way too many times, and San Diego State has run away with games not only on Thursday, but in their history playing each other. And how about Kejab? Kejab's an X factor for Boise. He missed a lot of chippies the other night. He needs to make shots today for them to be successful. And then on the other side for San Diego State, force Alston into tough shots and dominate the paint. Alston, we all know he's going to get his points, but you've got to make it difficult for him. And what I was very impressed with the Aztecs the other night was just how much they did get into the teeth of the defense and dominate.
One of the stats that I think that shows that Boise State likes to get in the paint, and San Diego State knew that and pushed them out. Boise State 62 dunks this year. The opponents have 30 dunks this year.
Wow. Yeah, that is a terrific stat. They force teams to take perimeter shots. That is how they roll.
Officials are taking a look at something on the sidelines. They're checking the game clock. And I will say that I said 17:09, and then it all of a sudden went to 17:04. So that may be what they're trying to decide. Is it 17:09, 04, or 13? So that's what happened. The clock ticked off a few extra seconds at the end. So 17:13 is where it is there. Mitchell calls the timeout. And the clock just had a mind of its own.
Kept going. Try to get it right.
As a guard, is it tough when your big man can't get the ball in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's always tough, especially, but you got to get yourself open.
That's true.
Even more difficult.
Each team with a turnover so far. Tomajic tried to back his way in. Armouche is a load. Gomez has it tipped away. Shaver really playing well defensively to start things off.
Yeah, he's all over the floor. You can tell that Boise State is dialed in on that end, and that will lead them to some offense.
Here's Kejab. Kejab working against Shackle. That's a good matchup. Alston and Mitchell, 2 Mountain West Player of the Year candidates. And Kejab is called for a carry. I have to say, we haven't seen many carries this year.
You know, I rarely see this called, and well, you never see it called in the NBA, but let's check this out. He does bring it up a little high, but we do see it often. It's just not the most consistent call. And Kejab, like I said in the open, a big factor in today's game. I want to see him really be aggressive.
Pulling him to Tomajic. Tomajic couldn't hang on, but Gomez is able to corral it. Pulliam said that he has to be better with the basketball in this game. Mitchell for 3, and it's good. Nothing but net.
And we all know Matt Mitchell can knock those down whenever he wants, and that's good patience, ball movement, just that reversal.
Mitchell had 24 points, 9 rebounds in Thursday's game. He is among the top 10 in scoring. He's among the top 10 in a number of Mountain West categories. Alston to Armouche, who got free, couldn't convert. Well, that's a tough miss.
Yeah, that's one you want. It's one you need to finish. It's good 2-man basketball there.
Yep. Gomez kicks it out to Pulliam. And Tomajic just can't corral a couple of passes so far. Shackle for 3. Step back 3. It's good.
Good sign from him. I mean, we talked about his struggles from Thursday, but he is a sniper. That is what he does. He's 5th national in the 3-point field goal percentage, so he has that green light. You can't give him that much room.
Yeah, Matt Mitchell said after the game, he said, you know, he was due for one when he hit that 3 in overtime. He said it was huge. He said he can't let it go. He can let it go at any time, and you have to have faith in him every single time.
That's wonderful. It gives you confidence as a player.
Mitchell with the offensive rebound, and the putback is good.
Matt Mitchell with the second chance opportunity uses that powerful body. You've got to find him.
Three-pointer short. Easy rebound for Pulliam. Boise now 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. And a traveling violation.
That 3 wasn't my favorite. It was quick.
Yeah. 8-4 the score. 14:25 to play here in the first half. Senior night for San Diego State.
You gotta love the intensity early. Nice ball reversal with the finish from distance. And San Diego State knocking him down from 3.
You're watching March to March, presented by Principal Financial Group.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Principal Financial Group. Learn more at principal.com/worth. By Werner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness. And by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
When we talked to Leon Rice, the head coach of Boise State last night, he was sitting out in the blue skies. We were very envious. We were also envious of what San Diego State was able to accomplish. They were able to pull off a senior night celebration last night. Brian Dutcher and his staff surprised the players with virtual comments from their family and from their former coaches. They went up to the mezzanine level and they presented the seniors with their jerseys. And I asked Dutch, we talked to him about if any of the players got emotional. He said, no, I got emotional. I was the one who cried.
Yeah, he said the older you get, the more you get emotional, right? You really value these players, and I give them so much credit. And, he was asked about how they've dealt with all of this stuff with COVID this year, and he just kept saying that this team has been so disciplined.
Yep.
And a lot of that has to do with your seniors and your leadership.
Alston was trying to box Mitchell out so he wouldn't pick up that basketball. It rolls out of bounds.
And Alston has to get hot here. I know they're trying to use him here off this on-ball screen, and that ball just goes right off his foot. A good hustle.
Hey, watch that, Lucas.
All right, so it'll be San Diego State basketball. They forced the turnover, each team with 3. Seiko in for the first time. He'd been battling a calf injury that left him in a boot a couple weeks ago. See the wrap on his left leg. He fires, no good. Rebound is pulled down by Mensah. And a foul called against the Broncos.
And having him back and really looking at this team in general, they are so deep. San Diego State, they have a lot of players that they can go to at any given time. Sometimes even too deep. We talked about it before the game. That you can really go to anyone.
They put 20 on the clock. Pulliam inbounds to Shackle, and he is feeling it, which is a great sign.
Yep, when you are a shooter, and I can come from that perspective, you make your first 2 shots, you are golden. You are full of confidence, and you can tell that he's feeling good.
How do you get out of ruts when you have them like Shackle did last game?
You keep shooting, but to me, I had to get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
I had to get to the rim, and then you get to the foul line. Those are like layups if you're a good shooter. That gives you confidence.
Alston is now 1 for 3. Shackle for 3 again, and no good. Rebound is tipped, and it's run down by Dennis. 10-4, San Diego State is on top. Mitchell and Shackle have all 10 points. Runner is good.
That's pretty. Real pretty.
Yeah, Ray J. Dennis is an important piece to this puzzle, as Shackle has it blocked away by Shaver, who continues to play well defensively.
It all starts with him. I mean, he's got to continue that hustle.
The struggles from beyond the arc continue. 0 for 5 now for Boise State. Remember, 1 for 10 to start last game.
And they did not want to get in that rut again. And that was something Leon told us. Because you need 40 minutes of basketball to win a game.
Alston for 3, no good. Rims out. Pulliam got a hand in his face. Mitchell, little jab step. Seiko back to Mitchell. That Mitchell step back jumper is no good, too strong. Trying to get Alston going offensively. He's so important.
And he doesn't force things. He lets the game kind of come to him.
I think that foul is going to be on Shackle. That's going to be his second foul, Julianne, with 12:01 to play. Find out what it means to be a Cowboy as the PBR season continues from Texas. Catch PBR Unleash the Beast, America Roots Edition, tonight at 10:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Well, that's the closest thing we could find to a Cowboy cutout.
That's right. It's got to be one in there, right? There has to be.
All right, so Shackle steps out of the game with those 2 fouls. Johnson is in, the very athletic big man. He wears 0. Rice, who's been cool from beyond the arc recently with the basketball, and he's able to get it to go. No, they wiped it away. It's going to be an offensive foul on Max Rice.
I like the aggressiveness, though.
So take 2 off the board. It's 10-6 San Diego State. Leon Rice is wondering, hey, how do you not count that? He went into him. Difference in this game so far is the fact that San Diego State has 2 3-pointers, so they lead it by 4, 10-6, and Boise State is 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. All right, so this is important for the Mountain West Conference, this game, but it's also important for the NCAA tournament. Our own Jerry Palm has San Diego State, Boise State, and Colorado State currently as 10 seeds in the tournament if it were to start today, and Utah State right now out on the outside looking in. Brian Dutcher told us, he said, listen, if you look at the metrics that count, we're in the top 10 in 7 of the most important metric categories. We're at 48 and 6 the last 2 years. So we can only control what we can control. And he can't control what Colorado State does against Air Force. Air Force up by 2, 13-11.
Yeah, you can't worry about it, and you can't worry about what everybody else says, and bracketologists are going to say what they're going to say, and if they do go by the metrics they say they're going by, then they're fine, right? But you want to win these games because you're not a Power 5 conference, and he did admit to that. He told us that. But we know we've got to win. That's important.
Well, we've got a chance to do a lot of Mountain West Conference games this year. As you see Shackle on the bench with 2 fouls. It's a really, really good conference. At least the top 5 or 6 teams are really good.
Very competitive. I mean, day in and day out, you get great games.
Here's the freshman Butler, gets his man off his feet, but then slipped with his pivot foot. We mentioned that Shackle's off with 2 fouls. He had been hot 2 for 4 to start. So this is where things change the offensive impact, Julianne, with him on the bench and in the game.
Yeah, I mean, when he's on the floor, his impact is undeniable. He's got to be out there, and so it only hurts his team if he's in foul trouble and can't play.
Acott. Pass is cut off, and a save by Seiko.
Nice defense.
Gomez with the basketball. Bounce pass to Mensah, too strong. And an easy rebound for Shaver.
Both teams struggling from the floor right now. The shots are not coming easy.
Gonna call a foul on Butler. Lamont Butler, who broke Reggie Miller's scoring record in high school. I know every time we do a game we say that, and I know I say it because I'm really impressed with the fact that he broke his scoring record in high school.
That is impressive. And he was supposedly a late bloomer, they say.
5 fouls combined for the 2 teams. Acott. And going to the basket strong is Kejab, and he's fouled on the floor. Mensah will be called for that foul.
But that's what you need from Kejab. He has got to get to the rim. They've got to attack the glass, try to get to the foul line. We said it earlier. They only got to the foul line 6 or 7 times in the first matchup on Thursday, and that's the way to be in attack mode and get aggressive.
Kejab posting up against Mensah. Little help defense by Gomez. Shot clock is under 10. Acott shoots the 3 and gets it to go. They're finally on the board with a 3-pointer.
That's a big shot. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-point game. You're going to get the looks, and that's what's important.
And Acott falls out of bounds as he goes with the steal.
San Diego State is going to pack it in, and so it's really important that shots go in. You've got to expand the floor, spread the defense out, and that's a nice penetration and pitch. Get into the teeth of the defense.
So Boise, which started 1 for 10 from beyond the arc in game 1, now 1 for 7 today.
But then they got hot in the second half.
They got hot all right. And again, Brian Dutcher said that we put a hand in the face of the players. He said, but they were tough shots.
So kudos to them, he did say, because they did make some tough ones.
But by the way, if you're wondering, Boise State said that Acott called for time, but I don't know if he had control of the basketball as he was rolling on the baseline.
It didn't look like it. He certainly didn't have total possession.
Almost 4 minutes since the last bucket, and it's Butler, the smallest guy on the floor, is able to get it to go down.
Much needed.
Halfway through the first half. Dutrieve. And now Shaver. Kejab wants it down low, working against Johnson. Fadeaway jumper. No good. Mensah, an easy board. Johnson along the baseline is bumped by Max Rice. All right, Matt Mitchell got a respite, Julianne. He's back in, playing with a sense of determination.
Yeah, this is certainly his team, and they had a terrific season last year, and they want to finish their unfinished business, so to speak. And they've been phenomenal all season.
I think I've said this before. We've got a chance to talk to or listen to Matt Mitchell a lot this year, and he is so good to get a perspective from. They missed that shot. Here come the Broncos. Dutrieve gets the offense set. Kejab running to the basket. Tough shot, partially blocked by Mitchell. Got a little 4-on-4 action, and out of bounds off the hands of Butler.
Kejab is trying to do a little too much. I think that he's being aggressive. That's important. Good rotation here, actually, by Matt Mitchell. Just getting there on time, making this a difficult shot. I mean, when you go to San Diego State, Coach Dutcher says to you immediately, if you don't defend, you don't play. That is one of his recruiting tactics. That's the identity of this program. You defend, and if you defend, I will give you freedom on offense. So his team definitely defends.
Yeah, the opposition averages about 27 points per game in the first half against San Diego State, which is huge. Acott brings the defense down. Alston for three, off the side of the rim and out of bounds. Again, he's cool to start, which he was the other night. 1 for 5 and 0 for 3. A little frustration.
He's getting very frustrated, and he was pretty deep behind the arc there. And they're going to make it difficult for him all night long, and he's going to have to make some tough shots to get himself going.
All right, this is the three-quarter court press that really worked in the second half the other night.
When they went a little smaller.
Yep.
And we were talking about that before the game. How long will it take for them to go a little bit small?
Mitchell against Acott. Inside to Mensah. Little height advantage against Kijab. Bobbled, tough shot, no good. Loose ball, tipped out into the hands of the Broncos.
Great defense, and that was an undersized man against the bigger man. So really smart play.
Max Rice for three, short. Another three attempt by Alston, no good. And San Diego State comes out of the pile with the basketball. Good decision by Johnson.
And Boise's playing right into their hands. They're taking multiple threes in each possession.
Gomez leads it off the side of the rim.
A bunch of missed shots, and it leads to a Gomez bucket at the rim. They are in attack mode.
You would think with all the action that we've had that it would be more than 23 points combined for these two teams.
You're right. Been a lot of misses.
Acott Rice fires again for three. In and out. Max Rice has been struggling. He's 4 for his last 22 from beyond the arc. Mitchell. Mensah trying to draw some defense. Sees an opening, and he's over the top of Kijab. There it is with the height advantage over Kijab.
And it was pretty, and that's the way you take advantage of it. He's very athletic, and he's skilled for his size.
Ball knocked away, and it's going to be San Diego State basketball.
And you've got to love the assertiveness of San Diego State. They are all over the floor. They're in attack mode. Terrific drive by Gogo. And then again, multiple possessions. Mensah with a nice, pretty finish.
The next generation is now presented by Army National Guard. This is a cool story. Armouche, the starting center for Boise State, who didn't think he was even going to come to the States when he was growing up in Serbia. He was content with just playing there. He became pen pals with a youngster by the name of Jack O'Donnell, a second grader in Boise. And then he sent Jack a hand-drawn sketch and invited him to a game. That's the sketch that he sent to Jack, who then framed it. Think about the talent
That is really
takes.
something else. We were looking at that before the game, and we were like, oh, so he's not only a big athletic machine, but he's an artist as well.
Setting the tone for the youngsters. He's a fun guy to watch play. He really is, because he clogs up the middle and he goes after one board after another.
He's that true post player that you just love, the back to the basket, true post player. Just very solid. He's been terrific for them all season.
Transfer from East Tennessee State. 7 minutes left here in the first half. Largest lead of the day for San Diego State. Only 9 points for Boise so far. Mitchell raising high in the air, can't get it to go, and Shaver with another rebound.
Shaver is definitely the blue-collar guy today.
That's 7 rebounds for him. Team has 12. Might as well give him a chance to shoot. Armouche with the offensive board. Second one for Boise. And Armouche gets another one out of the air, and he's fouled.
And that's one of the reasons why Armouche being in the game is so helpful. He is the one who crashes the glass. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds. He gets some garbage buckets or kick-outs. So you see this penetration, and Armouche is in position on Mitchell.
I didn't realize Tomajic got a piece of that.
He did. He got a piece. Good grab here. Can Derek Alston get himself going, too?
A rope is in the game for the first time for San Diego State. Step back three is no good. And Armouche with another rebound and a foul on the floor on Tomajic.
Wow, he is battling in there. And I didn't like this shot. I think there's too many Boise State shots very quick in the shot clock. Move the ball. You're going to have that shot. Even if you reverse the basketball, you'll have that shot later in the shot clock. But Armouche, great rebound.
16 foul for San Diego State. Slight hesitation by Dennis. He's able to convert.
Yeah, nice change of speed. And that's what you got to do. Good job by Dennis.
That ends a scoring drought that was almost 4 minutes in length. In fact, it was probably right around that. And Boise State now 1 for its last 10. The rope backing his way in. Two bigs in the game. One time for the Aztecs and an easy bucket.
That's a beautiful job. I mean, this guy's been through so much. He had hip surgery, then he just had shoulder surgery. He battled vertigo recently, and he's in there. He's their Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, Brian Dutcher told us last night, he said it's great to have him, his presence alone. Dutry for three, and it's good. Just the second three for Boise State. That whittles the lead to 4. Each team now with 2 threes. Mitchell, pull-up jumper. In and out. I think you have to give Shaver another rebound on that.
Yeah, I do too. He is finding that ball. He's got quite the nose for it.
That's 8 rebounds. Alston for 3. Still looking for his first one. No good.
And that's a tough shot. It's pretty deep.
Ball stripped away. Shaver with his 3rd steal. Little hesitation. Got his feet set. Fires the 3 in and out. Mitchell in the top 10 in scoring now in San Diego State history as Alston is called for the foul. All right, so Boise State's shot selection for the year, or for Thursday and today, 14 threes.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, way too many, I think, today so far from 3. I think that they're really settling really quick in the shot clock. It's kind of run and gun basketball now. It's great when you're making them, okay? That's great. But you're not always going to make them. You need the balance.
Seiko for 3. It's no good. Yeah, the 3-point attempts last game was a program record. Alston for 3 off the pass from Armouche. He gets the offensive board, and he's fouled on the floor.
But I'm fine with that. That is transition. You're looking to kick it out. The defense is scrambling. That's when you want the 3. That's when you're going to get the 3, and your best player has the ball.
Well, that's going to send Armouche to the free throw line. Ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce you to the first free throw attempt for either team today.
It's incredible. A lot of perimeter shots being taken.
He made the first, so he'll get a second.
It's really just the style of play between these two teams. Just a ton of pull-up jumpers, but a ton of threes taken.
And now the second shot for Armouche. Averaged 7.1 points per game last year. He converts both. This year he's at 7.8, but also nearly 8 rebounds per game. Mitchell and his Inland Empire buddy Butler playing catch along the perimeter. Little zone?
Yeah, this is a zone. It's like an extended 2-3. They want to try to clog the paint up a little bit.
And that's going to be a turnover as it will go out on the baseline. 3:36 to play here in the first half. San Diego State with a 2-point lead, but Boise will get it when we return with a chance to tie. I think the understanding is that there's potential for a low-scoring game when these two teams face off. San Diego State leads it by 2. All right, so this is what San Diego State's defense, Julianne, has forced teams to do.
They've forced teams to shoot threes from the perimeter. That is what they do. 7th most in the NCAAs. This is an awesome graphic because that's what they're doing to Boise State right now. And they're just so physical defensively, and they're forcing very difficult shots from Boise State. And they're all over Alston, their best player, making him take tough shots. And they're anticipating. This is what they preach. This is what they like. They prefer you to take perimeter shots than to get into the teeth of the defense, to get in the lane. So 7 turnovers for Boise State. And they've taken 16 threes, 2 of 16 right now. Way too many.
Now, to the Broncos' credit, they have forced 8 turnovers from San Diego State. San Diego State averages just under 12 per game. And again, another turnover forced by the Aztecs. Mitchell can't get the bucket to go down. A couple of missed layups for both teams.
And the turnovers become a problem when your opponent scores off them. There hasn't been a ton of that.
And another steal. Mitchell picks the pocket. And Mitchell has it pulled away. Shaver again. And Dutrieve running the length of the floor, lays it in.
The easiest shot we've seen all day. Off the turnover, off the defense.
Boise State scored 17 points in the first half in game 1. They have 18 now. We're tied at 18. Johnson to Gomez. Gomez for 3, and it's no good. Too strong. That's a tough pass. Alston for 3 in stride, short.
Yeah, just slightly short. He's got to get his legs under him. He's probably a little tired. Remember, a couple days ago, they went into overtime.
Yeah. 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. Butler back to Gomez. Gomez, and no good. And Arbush with an easy board. That's what Alston does for the year. He's averaging over 26 the last 4 games. But just 2 points in this first half. And a Dutrieve, little dribbling display against Johnson. Tough shot, no good. And Alston with the offensive board and a 3, and it's no good again.
He looks like he's aiming a little bit. I'd like to see him more in rhythm when he catches it. Get a lot of time there.
Be more athletic.
Yeah, just catching in rhythm. Don't think so much. Stroke it. He just looked like he took too much of his time, and a lot of times it's just better when you catch it. You don't think about it.
So Polium check back in. Seiko's back in for the Aztecs. Max Rice comes back in as well for Boise State. Polium played 2 years at junior college. He's leading the point. His team is hovering near 4 minutes without a point.
We've seen quite a bit of droughts here in the first half.
Polium leaves it inside from Menza. An exclamation point on that drought.
How often do they practice that? A lot, I can tell you.
Beautiful play.
Perfect placement.
Aycott thought about the 3, instead goes to the far side for Shaver. Shaver into the paint. Leaner is no good. Max Rice keeps it alive. Armush inside. Separation with the spin, and he's fouled, and he'll get 2 more free throws. One time, Julianne. I'd love to be able to do this one time.
Yeah, how about this? Beautiful placement in the air. Oh, finish. Mensa loved that pass. He was right around the rim.
All right, so Armush back to the free throw line. He is the game's only representative from the free throw line today, 2 for 2. First one is good. Coming up on AT&T 5G at the half, Brent Stover, Chris Walker, John Rothstein, and Gary Parrish will get you caught up with all the action around college basketball. It's all coming up on AT&T 5G at the half. Walk is probably finally dressed and ready to go for that halftime.
You know it.
Armush, second free throw. It's good. He's 4 for 4. We're tied up at 20, 1:11 to play here in the first half. 2 really good coaches going at it. You figure he's going to get going eventually, but Derek Alston, Julianne, is really struggling in this first half.
Listen, that's the game plan going in. The Aztecs do not want to make it easy for this star. Really, he is a player of the year type of player, and he's getting some looks, but they're pretty far away, and those are not easy baskets to put in. Mainly just three-point shots that he's been taking. Hasn't really gotten into the mix, hasn't gotten to the line or driven much. Settling for threes, but he's got to get himself going eventually.
Yeah, the good news is they're tied at 20.
Yeah, as bad as he shot it, and his team has shot from three, they're right here.
Seiko, Gomez, Pulliam, down low, Mensah. Mensah against Armouche. Pulliam, he loves this drive, and he's able to finish, threading the needle.
That's a pretty shot. I mean, he is somebody that can really get to the rim and do a lot of things with confidence.
I think the Broncos will run this down as far as they can. Dennis inside for Armouche. Armouche facing up. Shot clock at 10. Maybe not running it down, and a traveling violation.
Now they're trying to isolate him a little bit over there. And he struggles here, walks, just drags his pivot foot a little bit. It's good one-on-one defense. Listen, defense in games like this tend to win you games, not to be cliche. If your shots are off, that's what wins you.
Right. Pulliam just holds on to it. 10 seconds left in the first half. There's Knight. Mitchell's lurking on the baseline. Pulliam throws up, and it's good with 3 seconds left. And that will do it to end the first half. His hands are good, his vision is good, and he's able to get that one to go down.
You gotta love Pulliam's energy. He came in the floor and he just knocked it down a couple possessions, and all of a sudden you're up a few points going into the half, and that's not a bad way to go.
Well, the end of the first half, San Diego State 24, Boise State 20. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal Financial Group. College basketball on CBS Sports Network. Don't forget, AT&T 5G at the half is coming up next. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal Financial Group. Beautiful downtown San Diego, the Gaslamp District. If you haven't been out there, well, we invite you to take a ride because it is beautiful. Time now for our AT&T 5G game summary, our stats, and Boise State 2 of 18 from beyond the arc, 6 points in the paint, and it's surprising, honestly, that they're down by just 4. And Julianne, we've seen this happen before. We saw it happen on Thursday also.
It's like we're replaying Thursday, right? I'm so curious to see how the second half starts out. Will Boise State come out on fire? Because we saw a tale of two halves on Thursday, but very abysmal shooting in the first half from both teams, but especially from Boise from beyond the arc.
And Brian Dutcher from San Diego State wants his team to pass the ball with a little more crispness and also have the guards rebound more. Matt Mitchell needs to get going too for San Diego State.
He does. I mean, the stars of both sides are struggling here in that first half, and Matt Mitchell is one of those players that just needs to get himself going, and he's still in attack mode. I did like that he was attacking the basket, but he's got to start finishing some shots, and they're really all over him. They're not going to make it easy for Matt Mitchell to get buckets, that's for sure.
Derek Alston Jr. also struggling. He has just 2 points. He had 29 on Thursday. Mitchell had 24. Combined 3 of 18 shooting. Alston in the first half struggling from the outside. He was 0 for 8 from beyond three-point lands.
You know, in San Diego State, we were given some tidbits about just in terms of what Coach Dutcher was talking to him about at halftime about the team, and he's not happy with their passiveness on the he's not happy with that, and he wants them to be a lot more aggressive on the offensive end and attack better.
Here is Mitchell, used a great jab step to get some separation, leaves it underneath for Tomajic, and a foul on Armouche, who wants to know, how is that a foul?
Oh, you see the attack from the start.
Yeah.
Get to the basket. that's going to be something on their radar, I think, to start. But very important first few minutes. Who's going to gain the momentum here?
Inbounds goes to Gomez. Gomez and Mitchell up top. Shackles in with 2 fouls. He had picked up 2 in the first half. Mitchell inside the free throw line. Can't get it to go. Armouche with the rebound for the Broncos. Number 6 for Armouche. Dennis skips it. Alston down low. Key jab. Give up the shot. Shaver. And he's bumped by Shackle. That's going to be number 3 on Shackle.
Yeah, that's good ball movement. And Shackle just caught out of sorts, out of position here. A nice job with ball movement. That's what got Shaver the opportunity to take it off the bounce. And you see, that's what you have to do. Take note of where the knee is of your defender. That left knee came up, you have to go that way. And that was very smart to cause the foul.
You've played a number of games where you probably were in foul trouble. I'm not saying that you were a fouler, but how long is Shackle going to sit, you think?
Well, that was his 3rd, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be out for a while. He's got to be, because if he picks up his 4th, it depends on the coach. It depends on if he trusts that you're not going to get that next foul, and I don't think that you can put him in too soon. If it's my coach, we're out almost the whole rest of this half. You come in with 5-6 minutes to go.
All right, so they're taking a look at the shot clock and the game clock. I think they're also seeing what kind of contact there was on that foul. As we take a look at the replay.
It's probably more about the clock here.
Yep, it is. See, it's at 25. That's where it stopped. And the game clock didn't move either, so they're going to have to take some time off both the shot clock and the game clock.
Quite a bit. That ball kept moving, and it stayed frozen at 22.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been down to 0 when the foul occurred, but I think it would have been down. So I think they'll reset it to 20 and then put the game clock where they think it should be off the foul on Shackle. I mean, we're just deducing at this point, but that seems to be.
They'll definitely take some time off for sure and try to really estimate. That's all you can really do in that situation, is look at it and then estimate how much should be shaved off.
Tommy Nunez, the referee, will go over and explain it to Leon Rice. Bill Vinovich, NFL referee, is also the college basketball referee. Casey McClellan is the 3rd. He's the one that just handed the basketball to Tommy Nunez. All right, so 19:10 to play on the game clock. Alston looking, Shaver cutting. Alston cut off Armouche, got separation, and he certainly had a size advantage.
That is the way to seal your defender off and command the basketball. Nice pass by Alston. That's what he's got to do to get himself going. Get the ball into other players if they're open.
6 points, 6 rebounds for Armouche. Seiko, he came in for Shackle. Pulliam discards the screen.
And this is also a mismatch here.
Yeah, speed mismatch. Pulliam has it blocked out by the rim, and Armouche with the rebound. Again, Mitchell is covering Alston. He covered him for most of the first half. 11 for San Diego State, 21 for Boise State. Key jab, right side of the lane, hung in the air, no good. Armouche has his shot blocked after getting another rebound.
And who might get more worn out in the second half, Tom?
Gomez for 3. It's good. The man has over 1,800 points in college basketball. He's not the scorer that he was previously, but he can drain it when he needs to. Well, the Cal State Northridge was a first-team All-Big West selection, as Alston has it stripped away and a traveling violation.
Gogo is certainly a remarkably efficient three-point shooter for a volume scorer, which is what he always has been throughout his career. He is very efficient from distance. Holds CSUN records for three-point baskets. Shot 43% when he was there, and now he's still carrying that over at San Diego State.
Career three-point field goal percentage active leaders. He's right behind Sam Hauser. He's also a heck of a free throw shooter, too.
You can't teach touch.
Off the inbounds. And Shaver's able to connect. He sped right past Menza.
That's what he's good at. He's got a great first step.
He has 4. The lead is 3 for the Aztecs, who won game 1 in overtime after having a 17-point lead. Mitchell in the paint, and he can't get it going. Menza, though, with the offensive rebound. It's a little uphill battle with Shackle having the fouls and Mitchell not scoring. Gomez from 17, and he's going to help out.
Terrell Gomez, he's feeling it. He's in his zone. You can see it.
He has 7. It's a 5-point lead for San Diego State.
And Gomez doesn't just shoot threes. He has a really nice mid-range game. He's got a complete game.
Alston got some space, could not finish. Armouche with the rebound, and he's fouled on the floor. That's 5 offensive rebounds for Armouche, as Seiko is called for the foul.
And Terrell Gomez on the other end is feeling it. See, the closeout, because he's such a good three-point shooter, leaves that mid-range game open for him, and he's just developed that part of his game, so he gets what he wants, right? You got to keep the defense honest, and he sure does.
Yeah, he fits in perfectly with San Diego State. As we said, the transfer from Cal State Northridge. Alston and Seiko now being counseled by Casey McClellan.
Counseled, I like that word. not chastised.
They may be chastised in a moment.
No, they're getting physical. I mean, you can see it. And you've got to be frustrated if you're Alston. They are all over him, making it tough. And he's going to have to get more physical, especially at the next level. He's not a physical player.
And Armouche is fouled on the floor by Mensa. That'll be his second personal foul.
And Armouche here looking to attack.
I wonder if he had held on to the basketball, if they would have called it. I mean, the hands were definitely on her body.
It was, I think, ever so slightly, because he can turn and face. As soon as you turn and face, they're going to call any hand checks. When you've got your back to the basket, they're going to let stuff go.
Shaver cut off by Mitchell, goes to Armouche, size advantage. Skip pass, key jab, has it knocked away, gets it back, launches no good. And here comes San Diego State in transition. Gomez has the hot hands. Gomez hesitation. Gomez off the glass. It's good. He's got 3 straight buckets.
The 3 straight buckets, Tom, were 3 different types of shots.
They sure were.
That is what makes this guy so great. You take this away, I got this. You take that away, I take it to the hole.
And it's now a 7-point game. Key jab down low to Armouche. Armouche feeds it inside to Shaver. Boise State 2 for 19 from beyond the arc. They turn it over.
And Terrell Gomez, go-go, they like to call him, is going. That is for sure. And he's all over the floor. Nice little hezzy all the way to the rim. And the finish, and doesn't matter where he is knocking him down right now.
I can't believe today was a good day.
Terrell Gomez has all 7 points for San Diego State, on top 31-24 over Boise State with 15:32 to play here in the second half. It's been since January the last time that San Diego State trailed in the second half. Tonight at 8 Eastern, CBS Sports Network drops the puck with some top 10 college hockey action. Don't miss 6th ranked St. Cloud State taking on number 10 Minnesota Duluth right here on CBS Sports Network. Steve Fisher. Fisher's young grandson, is the second one in from the right. Time now for our principal financial group, worth a watch. And Gomez is certainly worth a watch.
He is. He's got 9 points right now. He's got all 7 of the second half points for San Diego State. And he's just been aggressive. And coach said to them at the half, hey, I didn't like how passive you guys were. Well, he has answered the call here in the second half. A nice job in attack mode.
You know, it's interesting because he's not the same scorer he was at Northridge, but if you think about it, active NCAA ranks among Division I players, he's 13th in points. Brian Dutcher knew that he had a scorer coming in. He's also first in free throw percentage for his career, 89%. And he's also among the leaders, as we pointed out before, of three-point shooting percentage, too.
You're always going to find room for somebody on the court that can put the ball in the hole, and he is one of those people, and he really doesn't turn it over a lot. That's also something that I like about his game.
A little pressure now from Boise State with Acott up top. That helped out in the first game. Pulliam, though, is able to answer by going right into the paint. And it's a 9-point game.
Yeah, this is a gut check time here for Boise. They're starting to lose this one. San Diego State pulling away here.
Yeah, largest lead of the game for the Aztecs. The drought is over 2 minutes for the Broncos. Acott off the high screen. Acott pull-up jumper. In and out. And Johnson with the rebound.
Boise State just has not been able to get offense from people.
And Gomez, a little heat check. Dennis, cut off by Johnson. Alston still has not made a three today. Dutrieve can't get it to go down, and the ball out of bounds off Armouche.
I think that there's a little too much one-on-one. Boise State's going back to that one-on-one isolation basketball, which we know Leon Rice has told us at times when they do that, that's not what he likes. He likes when they're moving the ball, and you don't want to go back to that. Now, there's a time and place for it, but make sure you're moving the ball and not standing still and being stagnant.
Johnson going after Alston. Keeps his pivot foot. And Armouche with his 11th rebound of this game. 14 is his career high. Hands from Johnson. And a foul from behind. Our coverage of college hoops wraps up in the Missouri Valley as Northern Iowa takes on Illinois State next on CBS Sports Network. The scheduled tip time, by the way, is 6:10 Eastern Time. Northern Iowa defeated Illinois State 70-56 last night. Austin Fife, his last 7 games, 13.5 points and 7.5 rebounds. And by the way, that title, I was educated on rap music today on that title.
We both were, actually. Yeah. I did not catch that either.
I was thinking Barney Fife from Andy Griffith, but Kamani Moras,
we showed ourselves
our producer.
Not cool. Okay.
Nope. 9-point lead. Dutrieve looking in. Kijak posting up. He wants it. And Kijak trying a quick first step. Shot is partially blocked. Gets his own rebound, and he's fouled, so he'll get a couple free throws.
And San Diego State's done a pretty good job on Kijab. I mean, they've done well in general, but it's been hard for Kijab to get himself interiorly going, and you can see that frustration. He's working really hard, and they're trying to get him the basketball.
So he'll go to the free throw line and misses the first. That free throw for Boise State is the first miss of the day. A rope in for San Diego State. Yeah, Kijab averages almost 13 a game, and he has 0 today. That's tough when Alston is struggling too.
It's really all of them that are struggling. There's no one that has really come alive here at all.
Shackle has 3 fouls. He's on the bench for San Diego State. The
shots are contagious. You start to make some, and the rest of your teammates start to pick up on it, but it just hasn't been there yet for Boise.
And a rope is fouled from behind by Max Rice. That'll be the second team foul on the Broncos. We mentioned Shackle. He's out on the bench with 3 fouls. And Johnson, who's played limited minutes, has 3 fouls.
Let's look at the clock and how long he stays out for, but I think it'll be a while as long as they've got the lead.
Yep. Seiko can't convert, and a rope with the offensive rebound. Well, I thought Gomez was going to fire. Gives it to a rope. Height advantage on Max Rice. Can't convert, but then steals it away and gets it back into the hands of Boise State. Here comes Max Rice. Inside the key jab. Extra pass to Alston. And finally, he gets one to go down. First 3 of the day for Alston.
He's just got to be sighing with relief right now. It's about time.
But you think about it, it's only a 5-point game, even with his struggles.
That's the positive that I see for Boise State. They have not offensively been good in this game, and yet they're down just a few.
Mensa, hands swatting him. He can't get it. Alston with the rebound.
It shows you their defense has been pretty solid because San Diego State does not exactly lit the world on fire either.
And Alston is fouled on the floor. All right, Julianne, they've taken less threes in this half.
But how about that for ball movement? You got ball reversal, 3 different guys touch the ball, and then the 4th guy is Alston. You're going to have that shot on ball reversal, and he had probably the most space that he's had the whole game. Knocks it down in rhythm. When he's in rhythm, he's lethal.
1-1 for Boise State, so they'll be at the free throw line the rest of the game. And Alston, as you would imagine, is an excellent free throw shooter, 85% for the year. And the front end is good.
You look at his career and how much he has developed over time, and we've talked about it on other broadcasts, just how skinny he was coming in and how he got so much stronger as he's been in this program. And he's just got a high-level basketball IQ.
Well, he's made 11 straight free throws, and the last 2 pulls the Broncos within 3. And as Mitchell and Butler able to get their team across the timeline. They go down low to Majic, who got some space behind Alston and lays it in.
Another really nice pass and just a hiccup defensively on that backside. You've got to be ready for that. That help side was just caught sleeping.
They got out to Rice. Max Rice, a little hesitation. He has an advantage size-wise on Gomez. Nice move to get free, and he's able to get it to go down.
You can pick some people, get some people knocking down some shots here and there. That's a big one. Now they're only a few points behind here.
You like the taller A-Cot at the top of this press, this 3/4 court press?
I like it because you can really disrupt with your length.
That'll be an offensive foul on a rope as Kejab slams his head on the floor. San Diego State is contending that he was in the restricted area. At least part of his foot was in the restricted area. That's what Brian Dutcher is saying. 11:14 left to play. Here in the second half, 35-32. Kejab is okay. This is what just happened a moment ago. The offensive foul. He may have been in the restricted area. Well, in downtown San Diego, it's beautiful out, and then you get a chance to take a walk along the water, many areas of the water. Why is this game important? Well, take a look. San Diego State, which was just awarded the 2 forfeits from New Mexico, technically have 14 conference wins, but that's only for seeding. The number you have to look at is 12-3, and they're sitting atop the conference right now. Boise State is number 3 at 14-4. And if the season ended before this game, Colorado State's currently playing Air Force, these would be the seedings for the Mountain West tournament.
How about that Utah State-Nevada game?
That's a good one.
The one to look at. I think that's going to be Utah State is a team to really, I think they're kind of under the radar good.
Yeah, our family of CBS will be carrying the Mountain West tournament. Now look at this, key jab.
Yeah, that's the wrong call. Bottom line, he's got to be above the restricted line, outside of it. And that was a good catch on your part, actually, Tom. And you have to be outside of it completely. If you have your foot in at all lingering, it's usually a block. It's a block. It is a block.
They called the charge instead. 3-point lead for the Aztecs. We're heading toward the halfway point of the second half. Aycott, shot clock under 10. Aycott inside for Armouche. Armouche will let it go with the shot clock at 2, and he made the right decision.
And that's a big shot. You put your team now within 1 point. Boise State is in more of an attack mode than they were in the first half, not just taking threes.
Shackle is back in. Butler goes to the basket, and Butler is going to be fouled by Armouche. There's Shackle with 3 fouls.
Well, that did not look like a foul to me from the naked eye, from the first glimpse of it. I could be wrong here as we take a look. Yeah, that was a nothing foul. That was not a good call.
No, it really was nothing. I mean, Butler fell to the ground, but it wasn't because of Armouche.
Yeah, that was not a good call.
Well, these will be the first 2 free throws for San Diego State today. Nearly 30 minutes of game time into this game.
That's incredible. When you really stop and think about that, you don't ever see that in college basketball.
And I think particularly with the San Diego State team, because that man right there, Mitchell, number 11, you talked about it in the open, how he likes to go downhill. That usually means he's going to the free throw line.
Right, exactly. And he shoots them well when he gets there.
Butler made one, missed one, and Tomajic gets the rebound. Seiko for 3. Tomajic with the offensive rebound of the putback. He stole it right away from Armouche.
Tell you what, Tomajic has been a clutch player here for San Diego State. He's gotten a couple of really nice alley-oops. He's come in, made some hustle plays, gotten a second chance opportunity. And this is that transfer from Maryland that we keep talking about. He's versatile, he's skilled, he's got a high basketball IQ, but terrific job here battling underneath. I mean, he was kind of one of those under-the-radar recruitments. No one outside of the inner circle really knew about or saw him coming in terms of the transfer, and he's been really terrific.
Well, they just called a foul on San Diego State. 9 fouls, and it means Aycott will go to the free throw line. And from here on out, it's 2 free throws for the rest of the game for Boise State. We mentioned San Diego State at the free throw line tonight has only 2 attempts. They average nearly 20 per game. And Aycott's second free throw. It's good. It's a 2-point game. An odd, low-scoring game, even for these 2 teams that are very good defensively.
And some of that is fatigue, most likely.
Shackle launches. Shackle gets it to go down.
Now he came in the game with a lot of time left. He's got to be careful on the defensive end. I'm going at him if I am Boise State, but that's a big shot. That's why you need him in. He's offensively a threat. 8 points.
Dutrieve, corner, Aycott. Got his man off his feet and cannot connect. Butler with the rebound. Little hesitation. Butler under the basket, kicks it out. Tomajic to Butler. Butler has it blocked away by Armouche.
Jordan Shackle, who's been struggling a little bit with foul trouble, back in the game. This is a nice read off this screen, a nice fly. It's a fly screen, a flare screen, however you want to call it. He reads it well, and you've got to make sure that you are pasted to him because he is so lethal.
He has 59 games in his college career with multiple threes and gets another one to go down.
And that's a nice draw off. That out-of-bounds play was for him.
How about that, though? I mean, he was out of bounds when it went through the nets.
A terrific screen, and he was flying out, and he was definitely off balance.
The lead was 8. It's now 6 as Shaver is able to convert. Our trends. The largest lead today was San Diego State had a 9-point lead. Now they're going to get Shaver for a foul.
And this is a great out-of-bounds play here for San Diego State. You see, this is a draw for him. It's a double staggered screen, basically. And then you get another one in the corner. Nice job. And then the closeout just a hair late.
11 points for Shackle, who's been playing with 3 fouls. By the way, Alston still on the bench for Boise State. Shackle short. Rebound by Rice. Off the tip from Marmouche. Shaver. Akon's open for 3. And Shackle runs down the rebound. Now they're going to call foul on Akon near midcourt against Mitchell, battling against Mitchell.
Yeah, certainly not where you want to foul anybody.
No.
You're not going anywhere there. You're not even a threat.
There's Alston, who remains on the bench. He's had a tough day. He's made 1 3. He's got 7 points. In the running for Mountain West Player of the Year. And Shackle goes all the way on the other side for Pulliam. Max Rice was trying to be the arbitrator. Mitchell can't get it, but he got his own rebound, and he's fouled. And he'll get a couple of free throws.
Yeah, that's what Matt Mitchell does. I mean, he's so strong, and we talked about his body control. Good hustle.
7:48 to play in the second half.
And Matt Mitchell just looking to be aggressive. This is anything but passive, that's for sure. Off the bounce, misses, goes after my own board. How about that? Great hustle, gets the line.
.748 to play in the second half. San Diego State is on top 44-38 in what is a low-scoring game, defensive battle. A lot of missed shots, but now Shackle for San Diego State is starting to heat up with 3 fouls.
And that's what you want to see. And he's doing it from different aspects of the floor. Good job creating his own shot. He's so adept at coming off screens, and this is what they're doing. They're running some plays for him, and that man can shoot, and he's firing away. And how about this for a stat? He now has 34 career games with at least 3 field goals made, and San Diego State is 30-3 in those games.
Amazing. Well, our PNC Bank difference maker, he certainly has been in 12 minutes, and he's only played 12 because of the fouls. He has 11 points.
Pretty efficient in that amount of time.
He's had some conversations with the officials today on a couple of his fouls. He and Casey McClellan having a chat before Matt Mitchell goes to the free throw line.
Getting in foul trouble, I know from experience, it can take you right out of a game offensively.
Mitchell missed the first one. It's odd that Alston has struggled offensively. He only has 7 points, but Mitchell also only has 5 today. Shackle's the only one in double figures. And he missed both. That's shocking.
Yeah, that is. And that shows fatigue. I mean, anytime one of your best foul shooters and players misses 2, you know they're feeling it a little bit in their legs.
4th in the conference in free throw percentage. Alston back in, has it knocked away, picked up by Tamajic. With the good hands from Pulliam, who was the one who deflected it. Pulliam into the paint. And that could be a hand-checking foul, and Alston hanging on the back.
And Tamajic is a handful down low.
All right, so 1-1 for San Diego State and Tomajic, the transfer from Maryland. 16 games last year for the Terps, all off the bench. And Johnson comes in for Mitchell. I love the jockey. You know, we can hear so much when there's no fans. So I'm not sure who it was. Did you hear him say it's going to be short? It's going to be short, and he's.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
You can hear everything.
Well, that one was short, and Alston with a very comfortable rebound for the Broncos. Dutrieve to Shaver, quick first step. Shaver off the glass, and that is a pretty shot.
And Shaver's been able to do that throughout this game, and I'd like to see him do it even more because he's been really adept off the bounce, quick. He's got a good first step. He's got that all day.
See the 5 on the floor for both teams, and away from the basketball, a foul on Kijab.
Marcus Shaver has been aggressive from the start of this game, and it started out on the defensive end of the floor, and that really rotated to his offense, but he stops on a dime there with a beautiful mid-range jumper, a lost art. If you have that in your repertoire.
Spent 3 years at Portland before transferring to Boise State.
And he led that team in scoring each of his last 2 years.
Shackle converts the first free throw. That makes both. Seven-point game. Dennis off the high screen by Kijab, bouncing his way to the basket, and a foul called on Gomez.
On-ball screen action here, and then Gomez just gets called for the foul. He's kind of moving, not quite in position.
The fact that he was trailing from the get-go was what kept him off balance, as Dennis missed the first one.
Remember, you can be moving and still be in a good defensive position. It just, you're absolutely right. If you're off balance at all, they're going to call it a block.
And now the second shot coming from Dennis. He averages nearly 10 a game. And Ray J. Dennis makes the second one to make it a 6-point game. Boise State within reach. Alston is on the ball. Shackle trying to get free. He does, and then he'll fire. May have been partially blocked. Alston gets the rebound because there was some really good boxing out going on underneath. And they're going to call a moving screen on Dennis.
Yeah, and they're calling a lot right now. You see the refs, their eyeballs are everywhere. Whether you're defending or you're setting screens, and that, that was a foul. It was a very slanted, not even a real screen, actually. It was falling out of bounds.
It was unlucky.
It was. He was in a bad position.
San Diego State's without a field goal in the last 3 minutes. Gomez running the baseline, open for a moment. I don't know how he was able to maintain his footwork on that. Pulliam sweeps in, can't get it to go. Tomajic, though, is there to clean it up.
That's Tomajic's game. I mean, he lingers around the rim. Good hustle with the follow.
Yeah, they're going to call Pulliam for a foul. That's his second personal foul. 2 shots for the Broncos. Boise State within the top 100 in free throw shooting in college basketball. As Dennis makes the first one. Armouche checks back in.
And he made that big shot to force overtime on Thursday.
Yep. And he makes both free throws here, so it's back to a two-possession game. A little different pressure now, full court pressure by Boise State. Well, they went hard after the inbound, and now it's just really man-to-man.
They're pretty token-like.
Yeah. Gomez fires from three. And Alston with his third rebound in the last 5 minutes. Alston leaves it underneath for Armouche, who lays it in. That's 10 points for Armouche, a double-double.
Yeah, what a pretty pass. I mean, that is one thing we could say. Alston is not a black hole. If he finds that somebody else is a little more open, he's making the extra pass.
That is the third double-double of the year for Armouche. Shackle cut off with some help from Armouche, and an offensive foul on Shackle. That is number 4 on him.
Yeah, he pushed off, and that was good defense. I mean, they've made it hard on Shackle the entire day, but this is really, Shaver has been incredible. From the get-go, he is just tough as nails. You see that left hand. Now, had that left hand not gone out, he might have gotten the blocking call.
How about the reaction from Shaver when he's on the ground?
So excited, right? Nothing like getting the charge.
Shaver will launch a three and convert to make this a one-point game.
Marcus Shaver, I mean, Leon Rice talked about him to us, and he said that this is a guy who could get 40 on any night if he wants to. He's still learning the game, and you know, he's a junior, but he's just that good. And he's only scratching the surface, according to Leon Rice, and you could see that in today's game.
San Diego State with a 1-point lead, 49-48. Don't forget they had a 17-point lead the last game, but they never trailed in that one. They haven't trailed since January 16th against Utah State. That was the doubleheader loss to the Aggies. As Mitchell cans it.
That is interesting. I mean, they seem to find a way to just squeak ahead of their opponents, even if it's by 1 or 2 points.
Workman-like day for Mitchell. He struggled. Alston has struggled, the 2 leading scorers for both teams. Mitchell now has missed 3 free throws. And now he steals it away from Alston. Can he go downhill? Goes to Johnson, who will go down and then up and bring it home.
That's that live ball turnover you want to stay away from, because it leads to buckets like that. Super easy.
And just like that, San Diego State has the lead up to 4. Dutrieve with a crossover. Alston cut off by a couple of different players. Dutrieve, step back 3, way downtown. Got it to go.
Wow. That was a create some space, shoot it from deep, hurl that went in. Big bucket.
Yeah, back to a 1-point game. Both teams with 5 made 3-pointers today. Mensah finds Pulliam, leaves it back to Mensah, able to catch and get it over the top of Armouche.
And somehow Boise State is not able to get that stop after they score, and it's just continuing to remain a little bit behind here.
Brian Dutcher said to us the other day about that 17-point lead his team blew. He said, listen, he goes, I told them college basketball is about runs. He said, we had one earlier this year, 16-point run against BYU. And that brought us back even with them as Shaver picks up his 13th point. And now a timeout called by San Diego State. 2:32 to play in the second half.
A terrific passing off the turnover and the throwdown by Shaver, and then of course Shaver down this end. Terrific shot pull-up J, and we got a 1-point game.
You're watching March to March, presented by Principal Financial Group.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Army National Guard. The next greatest generation is now. And by PNC Bank. We're helping to make a difference.
The last 3 Mountain West Conference Players of the Year, with Malachi Flynn being the last one. And here are the Player of the Year candidates. Now, you might be able to add 1 or 2 others, but I think these are the 5. Don't you, Julian?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And, of course, we've got 2 of them in this game, Matt Mitchell and Derek Alston Jr. Sherfield's been pretty good throughout the season. Seen him have some hiccups of games, but I think, to me, Alston has separated himself a bit amongst the others. And I'm sure that you might agree as well, just in terms of his skill set. He's just so able to do so many things. He's the most NBA-type player on that list, but it's always tough because you got Matt Mitchell, who's on maybe the best team in the league, and he's got some help around him. It's just, they're all good players. What a list.
Well, it's a 1-point lead for the Aztecs. They just called a timeout. 2:25 to play here in the second half. Shackle back in with 4. Seiko directing traffic up top. Now Pulliam wants the screen from Mensah. Picked up by Armouche. Mitchell alone in the corner. Pulliam can't get it to go down. He loves that shot. And Armouche with another rebound as he edges closer to his career high. He has 12.
They've played big. They've gone with him in the second half, and he's been really good.
Boise State can take its first lead since the Broncos were up 2-0. Shaver, and it's no good. Pulliam with the rebound. That ends a 5-for-5 stretch for the Broncos. Pulliam to Mitchell. High-low from Mensah. The catch and the finish is there.
Nice patience, and they have found Mensah underneath and had a pretty well-balanced attack here.
Dennis for 3, and he doesn't get the bounce in the roll.
A couple of 3-pointers taking the last 2 possessions.
He had that vision of the first game where he tied it and helped send it into overtime. 1 minute coming up here in the second half. Pulliam hovering. Shackle lets it fly. Shackle can't get it to go, and the rebound by the Broncos. They don't need a 3. They can get a 2.
And they've settled for the 3 the last 2 possessions.
And now a timeout called by Alston, and he is frustrated. 30 seconds left to play. It's a 1-possession game. Come on back. Time to see who stepped up their game today. Brought to you by Werner Ladder. And how about Shaver and what he's done defensively, but then also offensively?
Yeah, he has been just so dynamic here all day. I mean, he's just been very aggressive, looking for his shot. He's got terrific ball handling skills and ability to create things off the bounce. He's been really a pleasure to watch, a big-time player.
13 points, 11 in this half. That's why he has stepped up. All right, Broncos called the timeout. What would you do with 30.8 to play, 2 timeouts left? You don't need a 3, I would think, but they are a 3-point shooting team.
Right, you don't need a 3. If you have the 2, take the 2 and then foul immediately. But I would draw up a play that has both options. You get the 3-point opportunity. If that's not there, then there's some kind of roll to the basket for a 2.
Dutrieve takes the inbounds to Dennis. Dennis going right to the bucket, swings it to the corner. Alston is on the near side, covered by Mitchell. Dutrieve, shot clock is at 5. Dutrieve going to the basket, lays it in. He gets the 2. It's a 1-point game, and Boise calls a timeout.
And it took quite a bit of time to get the shot off, but that's a good scenario.
We broke down Boise State. We'll do the same with San Diego State when we return.
I mean, we could have.
I know where you're going. No, we couldn't have.
You're right. I was going to say we could have got 1 and shared,
Nah,
but that's
that
not
wasn't
true.
gonna work.
Sonic Extra Long Ultimate Cheesesteaks.
That wouldn't work.
Tostitos avocado salsa. We put all of this in here, so you can put it on, well, just about anything. Tostitos avocado salsa. Get to the good stuff.
Our game reset. It's a one-point ball game. This has been different than Thursday night's game, which went into overtime, but it's been entertaining. This was the last bucket for the Broncos to pull within one.
Yeah, this is a nice penetration, and Dutrieve all the way in the lane. You could have asked for a better shot, really, in that situation. You're down one now. San Diego State has the basketball. You've got to foul immediately. If you don't get the steal right away, which they're going to full court pressure here, go for the steal. If you don't have it, you've got to foul.
All right, so Pulliam will trigger the inbounds. He can run the baseline off the made basket. You got really good free throw shooters if you're San Diego State. That guy's one of the best.
You got to foul. You can't wait too long here.
Oh, how about this? Shackle in the open floor. You got to foul Shackle. 8.7 to play.
They let too much time go off. I know they wanted to get the ball in the right hands.
Yeah, Seiko would have been the right hand 67% because they went small, but he never got it.
And then you just got to go for it. You've got to foul a little earlier than that.
All right, so Shackle goes to the line. He's 90%. Or 89.
And he's basically automatic.
Yeah. 2 for 2 today. San Diego State's playing everybody back defensively,
which is smart. You know, you don't need the rebound here.
All right, so even if he makes this, it's a one-possession game. A 3 could tie it with 8.7 to play. Again, 2 timeouts for San Diego State, 1 for Boise State.
You go for the 3, I think. I mean, and
if you're San Diego State,
you could foul. I would foul.
Yeah.
I would think about fouling. And Boise State's been a pretty good free throw shooting team, but they're not automatic. I mean, then they only can give them 2 points.
58-55. We'll see if Brian Dutcher has his team foul of 3 when we return. Brian Dutcher's team is a defensive-minded team. A lot of times when coaches are defensive-minded, when they're up 3, at this point in the game, they don't foul. But it seems like it would be the right thing to do is let him get it in, maybe run a second or 2 off, and then foul to send Boise State to the free throw line.
You know, there's no wrong answer there. It's a matter of your preference as a coach. But yes, to me, you let a little time go off the clock. Now, if the right person catches the ball, especially somebody on Boise who's not a great free throw shooter, foul him. Then you're only going to give up 2 points. And then it'll still be a 1 point. You'll still be up 1 point, and then you're going to get the ball back, and they're going to have to foul you instead of risking allowing them to make a 3 and tie this thing. It's either conservative versus not conservative in terms of coaching here.
Well, for those of you tuning in for the Northern Iowa-Illinois State game, you'll be able to find that online at cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it tips off. And, of course, we'll send you out there immediately at the conclusion of this game. 8.7 to play. They're going to let it play, and then Johnson does foul. I like that. You let some time go off the clock before you do it.
What we said, right?
Yeah.
It was exactly what we thought would happen, and that's smart. Because you're going to get the ball back here.
All right, so a 3-point lead. Dutrieve to the free throw line.
And he's 70% from there, around.
Yeah, so he was probably the ideal guy to go. Now he makes the first one. So what's he going to do here? Is he going to try to hammer it off the back of the iron, or is he going to try to make it and then you foul?
I would consider missing it on purpose and see if we can get the rebound and put it back up. But especially if you've been battling pretty well on the boards. Now, you don't have position with the boards here.
And you don't have Armushin either, and he's been their best rebounder. He does make it, so they're probably going to foul right away, but they're going to have a timeout first with a substitution. Gomez, who is, as we said, active leader in free throw percentage in college basketball for his career.
And they want him to have the ball.
Yeah, Seiko's the only one whose numbers are a little lower.
And there was a foul before the ball even went in.
The foul's on Shaver. That'll be his third. 5.8 is a lifetime in this game. All right, so here's the foul. Shackle 20. Shaver had him by the waist.
Yeah, but that's the way you want. That's what you want. There's no time off the clock, and you got the foul.
First free throw is good. The Northern Iowa at Illinois State game is underway and now available at cbssports.com/CBSSN. We'll get you out there as soon as this one is over. All right, so again, a make here. It's a one-possession game, but it's a three, and Brian Dutcher, I would think, would foul.
Yeah, he'll do the same thing. Because we just saw what he did prior possession. He'll foul here.
And Johnson will check in. He has 4. Shackle will check out with 4. And Boise State will inbound. Dutry. Game is to 5, and there's Johnson. He's fouled out of this game now.
They prefer that than giving up that bomb 3.
Yep. All right, so he'll check out. They were going to bring Shackle back in anyway.
Yeah, they need him for offense.
Dutry back to the free throw line. He just made 2. Now I think if you make the first one, you've got to miss the second.
Yeah, I do. I think that's important at this point.
2 shots. No, that's a huge miss. Now he's got to miss, and they need a tip. It's not Armouche that will check back in. It's going to be Acott that will check back in.
Does that surprise you a little? I mean, I kind of thought Armouche would be back in the game for rebounding purposes.
He has 12 rebounds today. They thought he was going to go in. And Dutry cans it. I think it's hard to miss when you're not used to missing. I know guys practice it.
Very hard. It is. It's harder than you think.
Gomez will check back in. Mensah checks out. And we'll probably see the same scenario. They'll try to foul whoever's cutting toward the basketball to send him back to the free throw line. And Mitchell is fouled. The clock is, they're going to have to add time to the clock.
Yeah.
They should probably get it up to 3.1. Not that it will matter much if Mitchell cans both of these free throws.
Yeah, he has a chance here to ice the game. And like we have said, he's a phenomenal free throw shooter. Has had a rough game, but his team has picked him up.
The officials are going to look at the time. And both coaches are using the opportunity to design a play. This is what they're looking at. Mitchell gets fouled, and see where the clock is. 3.8. And the foul is called right there. So actually 3.6 or 7.
We were pretty close.
Well, on Thursday night, it was a 17-point game. And San Diego State watched that lead get wiped away by Boise State. Dennis hit the 3 to tie it and send it into overtime. And then Brian Dutcher's team exploded in overtime. Just kind of like they did to start the first half and the second half.
In this game, we saw pretty much very consistent, pretty close the whole game.
Yeah.
No huge run as we look back here at the clock. That's what they're looking at when he catches the ball, how much time has gone off. And yeah, they're going to gain a few seconds here, or at least up to 3 something.
Yeah, 3.3. All right, so Matt Mitchell, 10th in scoring at San Diego State. If he makes both these free throws, he moves to 9th. Makes the first one. This is the bigger. This is the game right here.
Yeah. And he's the man you want at the line in this moment.
And now the second shot. to make it a 2-possession game. It's good. He is money in the bank. 9th all-time in scoring in San Diego State history. He's given them a 4-point lead. The ball is tipped, saved by Seiko, and then out of bounds with 1.9 to play. It'll be Boise State basketball. If you're San Diego State, you just back off at this point, right?
Back off. You don't. They can take the hurl shot and make it, and you still win. If it's a buzzer beater, but
well, timeout call.
Call timeout.
Boise State calls a timeout. Broncos last of the game. We'll be back. You know, in football, when there's a Hail Mary, they put all the defensive players back, all the way back. Leon Rice's team needs a Hail Mary and a half. Brian Dutcher, I would think, will just have his team just go all the way back. Just stay away. Right?
Yeah, stay away. Just let him shoot. And if you do end up fouling for whatever reason, you're really just sending them to the line for 2.
Yeah, they defend the inbound with the Mensa. Here's the last shot of the game. It's no good, and San Diego State completes the sweep against Boise State, 62-58, solidifying its spot atop the Mountain West Conference. Pretty nice way for the seniors to wrap up their home schedule. Here are the standings with the win. San Diego State now 13-3. Colorado State is right there as well. Utah State jumps ahead of Boise State.
Yeah, a big win here for San Diego State. A huge weekend. Going into this weekend, everything was a toss-up with those top 3-4 teams.
No doubt.
So they clinched it, to me, with that win.
They may have solidified a spot in the NCAA tournament. So many things with a victory here today. 62-58 the final score for Julianne Vianney. I'm Tom McCarthy. For our entire CBS crew, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. After the commercial break, you'll be sent to Normal, Illinois for Northern Iowa and Illinois State. So long, everybody, from San Diego.